Hello, boys, girls, and NBs, and welcome back to the judgiest place on the internet. My name's Josh.
My name's Rick.
My name's Christian.
And I hate to break it to you, but we are the Judgies. I didn't want to be the... Don't shoot the messenger.
Hey, I hate to break it to you. You forgot the light behind you, Joshua.
Oh, are we actually going? I thought that was just a warm-up intro. We normally do, like, if you guys still peek behind the curtains, we normally do 30 warm-up intros. That was number 29. I guess Christian jumped the gun. Hey, we're on, we're rolling, we're going and moving, and we're going to read a reviewing. How about that? You guys sent in reviews over at Apple Podcasts. Hey, did you know there's a link in the description to do that?
Huh.
Yeah, go ahead and check out the description. There's a link you can click on it. Go ahead and leave a 5-star review for our show, and there's a potential possibility that we read it on here. And this one's from a grateful piss baby.
Oh, we love the piss babies.
A real jam band, the Grateful Piss Babies.
Jersh, Rock, Crispeth, and Northern Lights. I love you guys.
Oh.
Does it actually say that?
Of course.
You ad-lib sometimes, so don't even say of course.
You think I would say rock, unironically? Never. I've listened to all the chodes 3 times now. Every Monday is a great Monday because I know that something you guys say is going to make me laugh. I've been plugging the pod every single time someone asks for podcasts to listen to.
We love
Hell
that.
yeah.
My best friend and I have inside jokes about your inside jokes.
Love that.
Don't love that. That
Love-
gives me a little bit of FOMO.
Yeah, let us in on that. Making it more of an outside joke. This is my most favoritist podcast. It's a Rugrats reference. Thanks for the giggles and the belly laughs, Sienna from Kansas. Yes, you can use my name if you read this on the pod.
Okay.
Didn't appreciate the sass on the last bit, but thanks, Sienna.
That was wonderful. I have a couple things at the top,
Okay.
if I am allowed.
Of course, it's your podcast.
Okay. First things first, the funny business.
The funny babe. That's what we call the podcast business, baby. Our specific branch of podcasting business.
So this past weekend was my great-grandmother's 80-something birthday.
Hilarious. Which one?
It would be my mom's grandma.
No, which birthday?
80th?
80-something? Do you know the
80-something.
specific number?
No, otherwise I would have said the specific number and not 80-something.
83, you think?
Yeah.
No,
that
I think
sounds
she's
right.
older than that. I think it's like 87.
87.
It is her birthday.
I hate that. Anyway, we were talking about concerts and because my aunt and uncle were in town from Denver and they live outside of Red Rocks and talking about concerts and all that. And how my mom was like, oh, I wish, that I could play a musical instrument. And we're talking about musical instruments or whatever. And just trying to keep my grandma in the conversation. I said, Grandma, do you ever play any instruments? And she literally, without missing a beat, goes, just this one, and made a jacking off motion. When I tell you I gasped.
Does she have a partner that's still
Yes.
living? Okay.
Yes, my great-grandfather is very much still alive.
Apparently, he's still fucking kicking it.
And I was laughing so hard, and I was the only one that heard it.
Did she whisper it, or was
No,
it?
she said it at a normal volume, but we were like sitting outside, and I was the closest one to her. And my cousin was like, what are you laughing about? And I was like, oh, Grandma's talking about playing the old skin flute. And she looked at me and was like, what? And my grandma's giggling over in a rocking chair. And my aunt goes, I don't know what it is about you, Erika, but she only tells the dirtiest of jokes when you're around. I'm like, hey, I'm all right with it.
It's because she knows we're gonna monetize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a piss baby herself. So.
Yeah.
It was
absolutely.
so fucking funny.
This
Ugh,
is the same
love
grandma
that
that
woman.
taught you about like anal sex or something, right? Didn't we talk about this on the podcast?
I think so. She didn't
Previously?
teach me about anal sex. That was weird. No, what she said
She's-
was,
She's the one that showed you the ropes.
I think, ew. She said something about how she didn't want to get pregnant, so they only did anal for a while. Like, why is my great-grandmother talking to me about anal? I don't know. I was far too young to have accepted that conversation. She also calls me a cunt frequently.
Like, is she like in a fun way or a
Oh,
bad
yeah.
way?
Yeah, like if we're playing Scrabble or a game and I
So in a bad way.
make a move.
But like in a goofy, silly way.
She's like, "Oh, you cunt."
Like, she's not saying, "Hey, Erica, you look like you're serving cunt today." She literally is just like, "You're being a cunt."
Yeah. But in a loving way,
But
because
in
she loves us.
Yeah, it's a loving cunt.
Yeah. And this is going to be her first great grandchild.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Very exciting.
what's the next order of news?
Let me pull it up for you.
Perfect. And while she's doing that, why don't you guys head over to patreon.com/judgiespod, JUDGIES. $1. That's all we want from you is $1. Access to the Discord, also unlimited ad-free episodes.
So a listener messaged me personally on Instagram.
Oh my gosh. Flex.
Said, probably the weirdest message you'll get this week. It wasn't. But your podcast is helping me learn how to recognize manipulation through a lot of your Am I the Asshole stories.
Perfect.
For example, yesterday I was re-listening
like
to
that.
the story of the fiance spitting on his significant other's food. My favorite. My initial reaction was, oh yeah, he was definitely in the right. She should just have been compliant.
Wow.
And then when the three of you were saying how it was manipulation, it made me start to think. I told this to my therapist and added, I think my reaction to that is making me realize I may have been slightly manipulated
In the past.
with different people in my life. And the therapist said, oh, honey, you were very much manipulated. So y'all gave me a good epiphany and are helping me unlearn abusive reactions I was taught growing up.
Hey, love that for
That's
you.
actually really nice to hear.
I know. I was like, I didn't even know what to say. I was just like, this is incredible. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being a fan.
You did message back. That's actually not the craziest thing I've heard today. My great-grandmother jacks off my great-grandfather on a regs.
I should have never told you that story.
That's awesome, though. You know, to be fair, I similarly had a lot of awakening through podcasting like that. The podcast that I sort of, when we came up with this, was we're basing it off of one of my favorite podcasts, is If I Were You with Jake and Amir from Couch Humor. And similarly, they do that where they get in people writing stories and they just sort of joke most of the time, but then they just point out stuff where it's like, hey, that's shitty.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? So, hey, good on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that our stupid little podcast can help someone. I never thought that that's something that we would ever accomplish with this.
It sucks that that gets interspersed with like them having to learn about all the different sounds my butthole makes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aurora described, now I'm going to interject the 3 sounds that my butthole makes as per Aurora.
Okay.
They're all ducks,
Okay.
but one is normal duck, one is
Okay.
underwater duck, and one is a duck under a bunch of covers.
Okay.
Sure.
No, those actually all make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
The logic does track on that.
Yeah.
You're not going to give us an example?
The logic does quack. No, I can't fart
Fart.
on command. No.
Right now, fart.
I don't like farting in front of my friends. I'll go out and say it.
Honestly, that tracks with you.
Yeah.
You've
Quacks with me.
Prude. Just fart in front of us, you little freak.
The only time I think I only remember you farting in front of me like 3 times maybe, and you were very drunk each time.
Yeah, you know, I don't remember that. So I was
Yeah.
going to say I was a clean 0 for 0 in front of Erika.
No.
Every now and then when we're working out, I got to let one out in front of Christian. And I very am upset about it.
Yeah, he
It's
does.
just Christian though. He farts constantly.
Yeah.
I don't fart constantly.
You're farting right now, you fucker.
Shut up, dude. What the fuck?
We need a fart mic for Christian's asshole. only.
No, I don't think we do.
Have a windscreen so you only get the wet parts.
You.
Speaking of the wet parts, we don't just talk about wet sharts on this podcast. We also podcast on this podcast. What that entails is going online, finding silly little stories, and laughing at the people and judging the people in the stories. And sometimes Christian is the one finding the stories. And Eric and I are just here to laugh and judge.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope you guys brought your laughing hats for today, because hey, we got some real goofers on the docket.
One might say some funny business. Well,
I do look like
thank
I
you.
am currently dressed like I'm the security for a comedy club. So
That is very true.
I'm
You
only
are.
letting in the funny business.
You look very square right now.
Erika looks like she could use a coffee. For those that don't know the comedy business, when you tell someone in the audience they look like they need a coffee, the security comes and lets them go. You gotta get out of here.
Are you trying to kick your own wife off your podcast?
Hey, she's kind of bringing it down with the grandma jack off talk.
First of all, that was hilarious. Second of all, I laugh at all of your jokes, okay?
Thank
Yeah.
you. First story of the night was sent to us by a little piss baby,
Love that.
Barbs.
Love that, Barbs.
This is a story from r/off my chest. My boyfriend looks like a frog.
Are frogs big everywhere? Or is it just our Discord that obsesses with frogs? I feel like our whole Discord would like die to save a frog's life.
There are a lot of frog lovers in the Discord.
Is that just like a Zoomer thing? Like, do Zoomers just love frogs?
Do we have a lot of Zoomers in our Discord?
I mean,
The ones
our
that like
podcast-
frogs do.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, this is a nice short one. My boyfriend looks like a frog. And when I miss him, I go and watch frog YouTube videos, and they make me happy and warm inside because they remind me of him. I can't tell this to him because it might make him self-conscious.
It will.
Yes.
It absolutely would. It's just the way he blinks slowly and yawns is the same. And he has big eyes on his face. And just the way he smiles, I think frogs are adorable, and so is he. And I just miss him sometimes. I don't have many pictures of him, so the frogs are a more accurate representation of how he looks.
Take a picture of your boyfriend.
It lets me experience his facial expressions and his behavior in real life.
Wild. That was
A
wild.
little behind the scenes. I told Christian on last episode to read this episode. I thought this was funny as shit. What ass? Like, she's just like, you're ugly, but I think it's cute because you look like an amphibian.
She's pointing out every flaw on him, and she's like, "But it's so frog-like, and I love frogs."
His asshole is watertight. You can't get anything up there.
The way you gave me warts.
Oh my god.
The way you come on my back when we have sex, because that's how frogs reproduce underwater.
The way you're kind of just always slimy.
The way I prepared a nice pasta dinner for you and you said no thanks and licked the fly trap clean. Loved that about you.
Those freaky long legs of yours.
The way Frenchmen cook you.
Mhm.
What do you think about this, Erika? I would love to hear your take.
The way that I turn into a princess every time we kiss.
Hey, we love that. Love that.
Thank you. We can move on now.
Oh.
What a root. Like, I don't know. This is so fun. Do you think he's kind of greenish?
Yes, he's always looking a little sickly.
A little sickly. And like, do frogs yawn?
That's what I forgot about
Do
that.
frogs get tired?
I don't think I've ever seen a frog yawn before. Do you think it's because
You're not watching enough frog videos.
Oh.
Is it a toad that
Where
has
it's like the
the
expanding mouth? I don't know enough about
expanding,
my
like-
amphibians.
double chin?
Interesting. So maybe when he yawns, he sort of goes like,
Oh, man.
He does that thing that Katy Perry does.
what's that?
Katy-
Make music videos with Snoop
Katy
Dogg?
Perry can puff out her neck like
Oh,
that.
can she really?
Like a real
Yeah.
gibbon.
What if I just did it? I just discovered I could do it.
That'd be so awesome. To discover that live on the pod would actually be really cool.
Am I doing it?
No.
You're big necking it, bro.
That's a thick neck.
What a short little fun story.
It was great.
Just take a picture of your boyfriend.
Erica, if you were missing me, what animal would you look up on YouTube
Ooh,
to
great
kind
question.
of have like something to remember me by?
A fox. Because you are foxy.
Silver fox, you old fuck.
That hurt a lot, Josh.
For all the audio listeners, Christian is feeling himself. What would you look up for Erika, Christian?
Yeah. Right
Oh,
now, probably a
fuck.
big fucking hippo.
But like
What?
Gloria from Madagascar, the hot one.
The hot one, the absolutely stunning one.
What about Fiona, the little baby hippo that was born in whatever year at the Cincinnati Zoo?
No, you just called it a baby hippo. I'm not gonna look up a baby hippo compared to a hot, sexy hippo.
Adult hippo living in the
Oh,
tropical
she's
islands.
so cute.
Is this a real life hippo?
Yeah.
Hippos aren't that cute. Can I be?
No,
Can I
but
be
a baby
quite
hippo
frank?
is.
I mean, I would fuck a hip pussy.
Okay, we're gonna go on to the next story real quick. This is another quite short one. And this one's a little off our normal thing. This one comes from r/Tinder.
That is not a
Wow.
whoop, though.
It's not.
I don't
No,
think so.
I
Okay.
read Tinder stuff before.
Wow.
This is a conversation on Twitter or Tinder, and it makes me curious how online dating is even a thing.
You know, I just saw a thing today that was like a graph of like asking married couples how they met their partner, and it's like over 40% of married people, like, or people that are getting married, met online dating apps.
I believe that now.
And
Yeah, especially nowadays.
there's like this fun little like huge rise in like the 90s of like at work, and then it started to drop down in like 2006. Like now it's like very, very low. People are like, how come we can't hit on women in the office anymore? And it's like, because there's dating apps.
There's literally free access to you trying it out. You don't have to do the creepy thing of just hitting on your coworker until they finally cave and like, fine, I'll go on a fucking date with you.
It's not illegal to flirt.
I wish it was. The title of this post is, I drank a little too much last night, and now I'm overdosing on cringe. Oh well.
Okay.
And then this is his message thread. And it opens up with, you're really cute. With :O, just an
Like he's flabbergasted at how
Which-
much it looks like a baby hippo.
I'm surprised. He's saying he's drunk. This message was sent at 9:00.
Wait, this is all from him sending it? Like the person who posted it was the person who was sending the messages?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome self-awareness.
The person on the other end replies, thank you, smiley face. He sends back, smiley face. No idea what else to write, honestly.
That's fair. I get it.
'Cause he wasn't expecting that move to work.
Yeah. Well, just wait. He says, head for head?
Okay. All right. Hey.
Fair exchange.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. You have a British accent, huh? She says, yes, smiley face.
Okay,
All
wait.
right.
Does that mean yes, head for head, yes,
And
British
yes, British
accent?
Oh,
accent.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He comes back with a cheeky, oi, bruv, how about some fucking dingle-dongle for a lad?
You already...
A
you
bloody tongue twister from me Duchess.
He said that?
Yeah.
Or you said that?
I wish I could have thought of that on the spot.
You had it in the bag, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Does it work for him?
It fucking works. She sends back just crying, laughing emoji.
Insane.
Which is insane. They've gone from doing they've done colons, parentheses, now they're doing full on emojis. Right, what's all this then? You got a license for that that dry text, mate?
I've got a license for that dry text, mate.
And then he gets left on red at that point.
Oh,
Which-
no.
You were there, man. You were so close. And then you
critiqued.
a crying, laughing emoji and was like, oh, you're not going to say anything back to that?
You said the worst joke ever and got a positive response. She
Uh-huh.
wanted to fuck you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She was ready for a head for a head. I didn't even know that's a thing you could just put on the table.
Well, you can put that in your bio. You can put like height, weight, sex, head for head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pig for pig, head for head.
Yeah. Follow for follow.
All I could think reading this is like, I wouldn't last a fucking day on online dating.
Mm-mm.
I wouldn't make it through it. I
Because
wouldn't
you-
make it through
because-
the boot camp.
Because you would just get immediately matched on the first day.
Well,
You would just go out there and be like, "Oh, hey, brother, who's looking to get their puss slammed?"
who's looking for a proper? What do they even call it over there? Gash munching,
Cash munching.
This conversation is
a gash
offensive.
mash. No, I wouldn't make it through the boot camp because I would see people are saying asking a head for a head 3 texts in, and I'm like, that's just normal. Okay, I guess.
That's more normal on like Tinder. There's certain apps where like you couldn't get away with that on Hinge.
I don't like the idea of you even thinking about this.
Me?
Understand.
I won't
Not
talk about it anymore.
Not you, him.
You went on a dating app to find friends.
Yeah.
Specifically heterosexual.
Hetero for hetero, huh?
That's not what what's the word I'm looking for? Not
Platonic.
platonic. I don't know why my brain went heterosexual. I don't.
You're going for like same gendered friends.
Correct.
Yeah.
Thank
Or
you.
like not male companions.
Correct. That's what I was. Yes. Thank you.
That was
On
just-
an app that was specifically with settings for only friends.
Hey, it was a dating app.
And it
so
didn't
that
even fucking work out for me.
Hey,
To be fair, Bumble Friends has very thick quotations on the friends part. It's like
It's heavily
there's
implied.
Bumble dating, and then you switch to the other one, and it's friends. Wink, wink. Does Bumble Friends do like? Because the whole thing about Bumble is that the girl messages first. Does Bumble Friends have any restrictions on that, or is it just whoever?
If you match, then you
Just whoever
either,
can message.
Mhm.
Interesting.
But the other person has like 24 hours to respond, and if they
And then
don't
it disappears,
respond, you can't message them again.
Unless you pay for Bumble Premium, in which case you can re-up it for another 24.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna do that.
Not for a friend.
I don't like the time constraint on that. Can I say I would feel so much pressure if I only had 24 hours. It's like I got stuff going on in my life. And now I didn't check back in 24 hours and I missed the chance of finding a new friend.
If you're smart about it, you're only swiping when you have the ability to message. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess we'll just go on to the next story then.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
It sounds like you're all giving me negative energy right now, and I guess we'll just move on to the next story. Why are you secretly sending each other a message?
We do that every once in a while.
We match on
especially
Bumble
on-
Friends.
Yeah, especially on your episodes, we have to like discuss things. just
Am
between
I
us.
the a-hole
Probably.
for refusing to get onto a flight?
Refusing to get
Interesting.
onto a flight.
Interesting.
Christian is, oh my God, Christian, are you going to seamlessly bring up the one story you haven't told?
Oh my God. No.
You've never told that story on the pod?
No.
Little teaser, got to stick around till whenever we tell it.
Wow.
My boyfriend's parents paid for them, my boyfriend's siblings, and all their significant others to go on a flight to Cabo for spring break.
Where's
Mm.
Cabo?
Mexico.
Okay.
Cabo San Lucas.
Okay.
Becky, my boyfriend's mom, hasn't seemed to like me for some reason, and she's always making snide remarks about my parents' blue-collar jobs and my field in nursing. We get back to the airport, and Becky got 7 other people first-class tickets and then got me a coach ticket.
That's hilarious. That's so fucking funny.
Insane.
That's so rude.
It's so insane.
Holy fuck.
Do you think they just ran out of first
No.
class? Or
That's not how that works.
I
right?
hope the mom plays it off like that.
Becky tells me
You're poor. You can sit and coach.
you're used to it.
she told me I was used to it, and she had a free coach ticket anyway, so I should just be grateful for being able to go. They all did their express check-ins and left me in a long line for
Even
me to
her
think about
boyfriend?
what the heck is going on. That's what I thought reading this story. It's like you didn't even go through the security line with her.
Well, babe, you are poor as shit. You're lower middle class. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
I was left there alone in a long line for me to think about what the heck is going on. I had to keep myself from crying the whole time while I was in line.
That's fair.
I got up to the counter and there was a baggage fee for me to pay.
That's awesome.
She couldn't even get free bags?
My boyfriend at the time never once helped me get through the coach line or said anything to his mom about this.
It's crazy because all the baggage is already on the fucking plane.
Yeah.
Clearly. It's a good one.
Thank you.
I looked over at Becky's smug face as I was about to pay the check bag
Oh.
fee, and I let out all of my frustration out on the attendant.
Oh,
I
don't
start
do that.
crying. Basically, she said, "Don't go with this family, sweetie. They do not appreciate you."
Whoa! How does the person know?
I assume when she says I
Let
break
out.
down, I'm assuming she's
Oh.
like telling the whole story.
I thought she was just like being rude to him.
I thought that the 7 previous people were just like dishing all this shit to this person.
Do you see that poor lady with us?
Yeah, the one that looks like she smells bad.
Oh.
She totally looks like she's a nurse. She's got Crocs on right now. I continue to cry, and I took my luggage and got out of line with this super sweet Czech woman. I was so upset on how I was being treated, and I just started crying. I started crying on my boyfriend in the airport about how his mother was treating me. Crying to my boyfriend, I guess. I was crying to my boyfriend in the airport about how his mother was treating me. I broke up with him there at the airport, and his
Wow.
mother was so embarrassed by the scene.
Good.
I told her what a bitch she was, and that my boyfriend now has been blowing up my phone saying, how could I do this to his mother? And to just back out of a vacation at the very last minute like this. and now I'm wasting everyone's time and money. So am I the asshole?
First of all, they're still going to
ticket.
go on a vacation and have
Yeah.
a grand ass time. Second of all, how is he only upset that his mom
Is embarrassed.
is the one that's embarrassed? Not that he's heartbroken that his girlfriend just dumped him.
Well, he's gonna get her back.
I hope not.
I hope not.
Third of all, the ticket was free.
That's what.
Exactly.
Waste everybody's money. She was the one that was gonna have to pay for her bag.
It is pretty hard. Like, did we just talk about this? I think we just talked about it in a previous episode, but we just talked about it in person too, where it's like poor people only get like one vacation, or like
Yes.
especially one as lavish as this. So it would be extremely hard to turn down a free fucking trip to
Yes.
Cabo. Like, because Coach is fine. Obviously, the
Yeah.
gesture of doing it is so shitty.
yeah.
But it's not like she's gonna like hate her life for flying Coach.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was kind of thinking too. Like, if I was in this situation, I would definitely cry. I don't think I would let her see me cry,
Mm.
but I would definitely still go to Cabo. I would take full advantage of that vacation, have the time of my life, not spend any fucking time with any of them. Find someone else to love in Cabo,
Mm.
and then free flight home.
I don't like you thinking about it.
That's fair. Then break up with them. Goodbye.
You just really got to make sure your ticket home is already sealed before you do that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Here's what's going on in my head. I think because we're poor people, middle class, that when we think of going to Cabo, we're thinking of like all-inclusive resort. They're taking first class. They probably got like a private fucking Vista or some bullshit.
True.
Where you have
Where
to
it's
be
like-
with them.
You're stuck with them. There's no going to hang out with other tourists. It's like,
Ooh, that's a good point. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
I think that's how it probably went.
Hmm.
They have some Mexican like mansion rented,
That's a good point.
and then you're just stuck with Becky, that bitch.
I mean, I
God.
think even with that, I think I would still try to ignore them as much as possible and sit in the sun
Yeah.
and not.
I don't know. I would go nuclear.
It's insane. I wouldn't be able to handle it.
I would hang out with them. I would not leave them alone. I would be on their fucking hip.
Ruin
annoying
everybody's
Yeah, ruin
vacation.
everybody else's trip.
Hmm.
Just constantly drunk, constantly shit-faced.
See, that's also where I think I would say I'll just like get drunk by myself but when I like to talk and be annoying when I'm drunk. So
I would be drunk and crying the whole time, and that's how I would ruin everybody's trip. I would just be weeping, and I would be like, please stop. Leave us. I wouldn't leave them alone, though. You're right. I would be there for everything, but I'd just be like,
you guys hate me.
I wouldn't talk either. I would.
You could play it off as like, this place is just so beautiful. It really brings the tears to my eye.
I can't believe that people are that shitty.
Yeah, what an insane, like, and like, especially because it's definitely alluded to, at least, like, she didn't even know about the tickets until they got to the airport. Which, like, if she knew she was flying Coach, she could have packed better, so she didn't have to
Yeah.
pay a baggage fee.
I don't know how the boyfriend isn't just like, I'll take the hit this one time. I'll take this on the chin, and I'll
Yeah.
fly Coach for 2 hours.
Yeah.
It can't be that long of a flight to be like, I need first class. There's better flights to have first class for.
Or they're going from Guadalajara, so it's an intra-Mexico flight.
The first class is literally you're just sitting on one side of a tape line.
And how about we get on the other side of the tape line? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes
the other
sense.
part of the
yeah,
podcast. So if you guys aren't aware, there's normally podcasts are split in half with the ad break in the middle, and that's where we're going to
And it
next.
goes right here.
Bye.
That was aggressive. I didn't like the back and forth you guys had there. Are you okay? Do we need to talk about it?
Josh is
And-
pissing me off.
And welcome back to this side of the podcast. We've hashed our differences.
Good.
We've smashed our differences. And we've resolved our differences.
Okay.
Christian, you want to get into the circle jerk, buddy? The little thing that we do on the back half of the
Hey,
podcast.
You're
Hey,
getting
I'm-
aggressive again.
Where we
Hey,
start-
I'm
It was a
panic-
question. I'm
hey,
just asking.
Hey, I'm panicking.
Hi, panicking. Nice
What-
to meet
what
you.
cir-
It's okay,
What-
sweetheart. Take your time.
What
Mhm.
circle jerk are we doing? I don't think we ever put a solid.
Circle Judge.
We're doing the one.
Who's ready for a little Judgies fanfic? I have been logging into this website for the last week, and now I have to make a login. I've went in on the website too many times, and it's like, hey, make a login now.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll just do the other
Whoa!
other fan fiction. This one is at yourworldoftext.com/judges. Anybody can edit it. So you can go there and type, you can add to
It's
the
an
story.
ever-changing fic.
Yeah, it's not a permanent document. It's a living, breathing document. So I'll go ahead and read
It's
that.
kind of like the United States Constitution. It's a living, breathing
There's a few
document.
amendments to it. Most important one, all of them.
I'm keeping my mouth shut so that people don't think I'm too political on this podcast.
Why do you keep bringing up politics?
All right, this one was created by Booger in our Discord. I think they wrote most of it. So here we go. They finally wrapped. After years of hard work, they turned off the camera for episode 100. Christian yawned that huge, awkward, frog-like yawn he always does.
Wait, is it actually?
Did you ad-lib that?
Yeah, it says lion, but it's funnier if I say frog.
Yeah, we're gonna change. We're gonna make an amendment.
Or as Josh calls it, the cutest thing he'd ever seen.
Oh, or the loudest fucking smile like you did a few episodes ago. You remember that?
No.
Because I do.
Every time you open your mouth, I remember it. I gotta poop, Christian said. Should I do my Christian accent?
Yeah.
I gotta poop.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly ready to go home. Josh volunteered to put away all the equipment. We don't put away equipment. But they all knew it's because no one could do it the way he does it, the right way. An hour later, they really nailed my vibe this episode. An hour later, Aurora and Josh, no Erika, were sitting in the Taco Bell drive-thru. So, Josh, she
Why
started.
would I go to Taco Bell with just you and
No,
Aurora?
just you're not in the story.
At all?
Apparently not.
I fucking wasn't in the last fanfic either.
You're in the one I was gonna read.
You're too
Okay.
political.
Fuck off.
It's not fan politic.
Boo.
Thank you. So, Josh, she started, giving him time to finish talking about the potatoes you get from the location on Bellevue. Some friends of mine are hanging out at the graveyard tonight. Do you want to go? Josh's face immediately dropped to a pout. Scary was all he replied.
They really did get your like vibe down.
That's okay, she said, but I think I'm going to go with them anyway. She expected him to want her to stay home with him, but surprisingly, he was perfectly fine with the night by himself.
This is all so accurate.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome, Sauce. I really hope you fuckers have a cool beans time.
This is so accurate.
They've got your vernacular down, just down pat.
Aurora was relieved. Usually, Josh would be bratty the entire next day if she wasn't there to brush his teeth the night before. But that was par for the course with a mommy-dom little boy relationship like theirs.
Ooh, I don't
What?
like that.
No, that's
Which-
cute, and that is kind of their like energy they give off.
Mm-mm.
And
What
if you see them in person, that's the energy they give off.
there was a TikTok thing where like someone said like, have someone brush your teeth for you. It's the weirdest feeling. Oh wait, it was Ghost Honey, yeah?
Yeah, the dentist
Oh, yeah, the
centrally
dentist.
showed him how to
sorry.
brush his
Yeah,
teeth.
after that episode re-recorded, I was like, I brushed Aurora's teeth and she brushed mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we
How
gotta
hot
try
was
now.
it?
It was like when you're doing it to somebody else, it really is like, I'm doing it too hard. Or too, like, you don't know. And then they do it to you and you're like, have you ever brushed teeth before?
We actually had to learn how to do that in my CNA class. You have to, for people that can't do it themselves.
Oh, were CNA certified?
Yes.
You can ride and coach then.
What she didn't know is that Josh had hid a few carrots hidden in the gallon of milk he keeps next to his bed. He'd been waiting for a night to himself for a few days.
I hate it.
Go in goblin mode.
And that's where it ends.
Oh, what
On
are you
a
going to do with those carrots,
carrot
Joshua?
hanger.
What a cliffhanger.
Why is there a gallon of milk there?
You're big into milk, Josh. You said it 2 episodes ago.
Yeah, when this was written 12 episodes ago.
Well, he knows you well.
That's true.
Obviously.
So you guys can go to that website that I said, worldoftext.com/judgies.
We would, yeah. Well, I think that's what he said. We would love for more Judges lore to be built into this.
Can I be included?
yourworldoftext.com/judgies and write about Erika, you
Get
fuckers.
Erika in there.
It's weird that there isn't more about you considering how much I fetishize your feet. You know? You really think that would be like ample ground for them to walk on?
Maybe the listeners forgot about that.
There's going to be plenty of Erika feet in the next update.
Featuring Erika's feet.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Josh, throw me that little fucking aux cord.
That's such a bad throw.
I'll
Joshua.
throw you that little fucking aux cord.
Don't you hate that song?
Yes.
I love that song.
I'm
a big
hate
fan. What?
The all
American Rejects?
Yeah. Really hate them a lot. But wait, you know what I don't hate is when people send in fun little sounds for us over at judgiespod@gmail.com. Put listener submitted sound in the title. We play that before we read a listener submitted story. You can also Instagram DM us, but I won't like you if you do that.
Yeah, it makes it a lot harder to go back and find it if you do it on Instagram.
If we ever do an episode where we search our email for keywords again, which I think is fun, we
Yeah,
can't do that on
basically.
Instagram DM.
No,
so
we can't.
No, we
if you
can't.
want a random chance for your shit story to be read, you gotta do it on the emails.
That was a fun episode. I want to do that again soon.
Hey, you're recording. Your next episode is up.
No, but I want to be the one that guesses.
Okay.
Fun for me.
2 episodes from now, we'll do it, Erika.
Okay.
Episode 113. Book it, just like Pizza Hut.
This submission comes from Regina.
No, otherwise.
What the fuck?
Did it stop?
Did you break the dongle?
This one's from Regina.
And it stopped playing again.
We're having some technical difficulties, y'all. Hold on.
This one's from Regina.
Sure ain't.
This one's from Regina. Regina.
Who let the dogs out? Who? You let. Oh my god.
Hey, man, just play it off of your phone speaker into the microphone. How about that? Like we're goddamn Neanderthals.
All right, no one. Hey, you guys didn't hear the joke yet, okay? You didn't hear the punchline.
Let the dogs out. You let the dogs out. You let the dogs out.
That's it. I loved it.
Oh,
Thanks for the submission, Regina.
Erika lets her dogs out every single episode. She doesn't wear socks anymore. Thanks, Regina.
First of all, it's June, okay? Ain't nobody wearing socks.
They know, yeah, June is not sock weather. I famously only wear socks.
Also,
I love that song.
my feet are swollen and socks are uncomfortable.
I'm not.
Also, Joshua,
Hey.
I can't fucking breathe when I bend over to put socks on.
Do we need to get you one of those old person, like sock slipper honors?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I have one, but
Oh, so you have no excuses?
Thanks, Regina, for sending that in. How about we get into that listener submitted story? And if it's not about feet, I don't want to talk.
This
I'm just killing dead air, Erika. You gotta give me that.
I do got to give you that because, like, who else is gonna?
Who else is gonna? Hey, Judgies.
Hello.
I'm a huge fan of your podcast,
Thank
and I thought I would
you.
submit a quick story that happened to me kind of recently.
Okay.
Without further ado, today I fucked up by stealing an egg from a picnic.
What?
This is
An egg.
Did you feed it to your cat?
Who
Ooh.
who brings eggs to a picnic?
This family.
It's an Easter picnic.
So my mom owns a business, and she recently did a picnic for Memorial Day.
Okay.
Like a business, like a company picnic?
I'm assuming so. I only assume so because she opens with her mom has a business.
Okay.
There's always lots of fun games at these bounce houses, and one of their favorite things to do is the annual egg toss.
Okay.
This year I brought along my boyfriend to the picnic, and we were partners in this egg toss.
Oh,
On the third round, I threw the egg and it exploded all over his pants. Womp womp.
Third round. That's pretty early on to get an explosion.
weak.
That's like a oops, it slipped through my fingers drop.
Slipping through my fingers all the time.
It was an egg.
We quickly went to the bathroom to clean up, and I just felt so bad. I just felt so dirty. Later that day, as a joke and revenge, I guess, we went over to the leftover carton of eggs, and I stole 3 of them.
Okay. Quarter dozen.
All of which went right into my pocket. We had a good laugh, and shortly after, my boyfriend left.
OP is a female?
They
say?
never stay, and their name is just symbols, so
Just what girl has enough room in their pockets for eggs?
cargo pants. Oh, you don't. Cargo shorts are back in, Josh.
Am I right, ladies?
You're not wrong.
When the
Especially
chicken
3.
ladies,
3 eggs
Three
is a
egg-
lot of
3 eggs is a
to
lot.
steal.
You have to be wearing cargo shorts.
Blah, 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 blah.
Unless it was like a hoodie
Ooh,
pocket.
you could easily steal 3 eggs in a hoodie pocket.
Fanny pack.
Mm-hmm.
My boyfriend left, and everyone was cleaning up. I was talking to some kid around 8 years or something like that about something, but I can't quite remember. And being a little too confident, I bent over wrong, and I smashed one of the eggs in my pocket.
Yep. Knew that was coming.
Fanny pack, definitely.
Now, no one who was still there had known that I did this, so I had to find a way to quietly dispose of it without anyone knowing. I sneak over to the bathroom and I drop the now completely exploded egg into the toilet and quickly start cleaning out my pocket.
Imagine being in the stall next to that. Just and then just like the sound of like the goop going in.
That's so fucking gross. We need to hire Foley for this episode.
Is that your wet duck underwater?
Pretty
Mhm.
close.
We have wet duck underwater. Famously, they're hydrophobic. They'd actually be a dry duck underwater.
Famously. I go to flush the egg and the toilet's not flushing.
Oh no.
It's not overflowing, but it simply just won't flush at all.
But you have like turds that are bigger than egg sizes and
I
still
think
flush,
the
think the
right?
plumbing was
the
just
toilet's
down.
not working.
Oh, okay.
Yes, people do have turds bigger than egg sizes.
I know. I am one of them.
It was an ostrich, actually.
That's
I'm
about
freak-
average for me.
Wow. I'm freaking out now. So I run out and go to wash my egg yolk covered hands. And the sink water isn't working either.
That tracks.
No.
So now I have to walk outside the bathroom, use the water fountain to get some water on my hands, put some soap on it, and then walk back in to wash the soap away. They
Okay.
missed a step in there.
Yeah.
Water fountain, back in the bathroom, soap,
water fountain.
water fountain.
Sure.
Overall, this is a very traumatic experience for me. But on the bright side, I still have the 2 other eggs that are completely unharmed. Thanks, Judgies.
You still have them?
Why did you steal 3 eggs?
What-
And why do you still have the 3 eggs?
For revenge? She's the one who blew it up on, or they're the one who blew it up on their boyfriend.
Yeah, this
What
is
revenge?
against her mom.
Her mom's.
Are you not reading between the lines?
Yeah. My mom's actually beloved by the town for throwing these cool little picnic things, and they hate me because all I do is steal eggs.
Yeah, that sounds about right for you.
Does sound about right for you. I just feel like this is a quintessential goblin mode story.
Yeah.
There's no other explanation other than like
You're-
slipping into goblin mode.
Your little goblin brain turned on, and you saw little white opaque things, and you're like, gotta have them. Gotta get them in my pockets.
Especially 3. There's
Yeah.
no logical reason to take 3. 1, it's like, haha, goofy, silly, I stole an egg. 3 eggs, you're over encumbered
many,
at that
yeah.
point.
Yeah, it's like in Skyrim when you can't run.
Yeah, you're lucky you didn't smash all 3.
That's true.
They must have had them in different pockets.
Also, how
Absolutely.
did nobody see like the egg coming through your pocket?
Yeah,
They
like
did.
I get self-conscious because my keys make a shape,
Yeah.
let alone an egg.
What's
oblong.
up with the 3 egg shapes in your pants?
Hemorrhoids? Front hemorrhoids, actually. Yeah, they're
Oh, no.
epidemic.
Got hernias on my quads.
Yikes. That sounds awful.
And why do you still have the 2? What are you going to do with you? They have to be spoiled by now, right?
Also, pretty sure you can just take an egg and nobody will be that beat up about
Yeah,
it.
nobody's going to be upset about the
They're a
egg.
goddamn dime a dozen.
Oh.
What?
They're not going to be beaten up about it.
I didn't mean to
beat,
make.
You beat
You
eggs.
beat an egg?
I don't.
You beat off though, don't you?
I'm a vegan. I don't beat eggs. I raise them.
You're not vegan. You're vegetarian.
I also-
First of all, and
I'm-
you're not even that strict on it. We just had steak tonight.
With
Yo,
eggs.
chill, you're blowing up his spot.
With eggs.
We did not have eggs.
You didn't.
Neither did you.
Oh, hey.
I cooked your Christian and I cooked your dinner.
We did cook you dinner.
You're welcome, by the way.
Oh, we said thank you. Don't make it seem like we didn't say thank you. All the other slander I'll live through. I will not live through me being ungracious.
On to the next story. This
Oh.
one's coming right off of Reddit. This one from what I remember, gave off goblin energy too.
Okay.
Today I fucked up
Oh no.
by starting a nut chart.
Nut chart. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We both thought cum,
Correct.
but then we both thought maybe it's pecans.
Maybe. Yes. Literally my exact thought process.
Maybe it's a pecan or a pistache or maybe it's a shoe.
Mm-hmm.
It's my second semester of college. Still think it's a pecan. And my suite is a co-ed dorm with 8 guys and 2 girls.
Those poor girls.
It's definitely cum.
This is definitely cum. Do you remember in your dorm you had the signs?
All that cum.
Your dorm people put up signs that said "quit cum" or "quit jacking off in the showers" because
Yes.
it's clogging the pipes.
Yep.
Well,
You're
if I
gonna-
don't jack off, it clogs my pipe. So
If you're gonna jack off, don't come in the drain.
yeah, it gets on the hair.
We all know each other from last year and consider ourselves as really good friends. During my freshman year, which took place over COVID, a lot of my friends and suite mates didn't have any roommates due to the restrictions. As a suite group, we had to collectively fill out an agreement form, and of course, one of the questions were what we thought about sex in the suite. We all just joked it off mostly, and we came to the conclusion that our suite really doesn't get any sex anyways. And then the topic of masturbation came up, and a lot of my friends who hadn't had to deal with a roommate wanted to keep this practice limited to prevent any awkward encounters in the future.
Wait, so do they have roommates now, or like why are they talking about this?
I assume probably how it's set up is, yeah, it's like when it's the suite style, it's probably how my
Like
when I was an RA, it
a
was like-
shared center room.
and then it's
okay.
like 4 rooms with 2 people in each room,
Got it. Okay.
something similar to that. It was at this point that I brought up the idea of having a nut chart, to just keep track of the jack-offs to sex ratio that we as a suite were experiencing.
Got to get those numbers up. Q4 not looking good for us.
Just
Way
as-
too much nuts, not enough sex.
If you masturbated, you would mark an X on the board under your name. But if you had sex, you would mark a check mark under your name. It was wholly meant as a joke to make light of our sex life, or lack of there. We don't fuck. My suite mates thought it was very funny, so we went through with the idea. Sitting in our shared living room was a whiteboard filled with X's and dick jokes.
Weird to be in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a
not-
group experiment.
Your
Josh.
RA walks in, just like, hey, what's that? Oh, that's the nut chart that we stare at while we're watching NBA.
Each day we try a new tree nut and see which one of us is allergic.
What's the sex column for? We fuck the nuts.
It was a stupid idea for a lot of reasons, but it was kind of fun to see who could be the last one to hold on to putting an X on the board. From here,
Oh, so
It's-
they're competing to see who can't fuck. No, an
well,
X.
who can
I'm
not
sorry.
jack off?
An X is the
It's a
jack off.
struggle
I'm
for
Which
sorry.
everybody.
you could
Just lie?
just lie.
No,
this
that's-
is the Seinfeld episode, Erica.
From here, it's really not hard to see how I fucked up.
You came, yeah.
What?
Fast forward to the end of the second semester of my freshman year, I get desperate and downloaded Tinder and miraculously got matched with a girl we'll call Jane. Jane was awesome, and we went on a couple of pretty successful dates. And the school year ended with us having sex.
I like how he's like, yeah, we don't have sex. And it's like, literally, and normally the phrase is not for a lack of trying. They literally weren't trying to have
Yeah.
sex. He literally downloaded Tinder and got poontang the next week.
Before the summer started, we both agreed on being friends due to the long distance issues. Now, this semester, she ends up being in 2 of my classes. We start talking and hanging out a lot, and about a week later, we decided to have sex again.
Nice.
Later that night, I come back to the suite really excited because I had just had a really good time with Jane. She said she might even want to go on a second date now. I make sure before I go to bed to mark the nut chart with a check mark. One of my suite mates that attends our school's burlesque club, and as it turns out,
Ooh.
so does Jane. And during a burlesque party, the suite mate tells Jane about the nut chart we have,
Ooh.
and that they knew that I had had sex with her. Jane gets upset about this,
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
and she gets upset, and she didn't know about the nut chart because I didn't tell her about this.
Why would you?
Yeah, why would you ever tell her?
Oh, before we have sex, I do need to let you know my whole suite will know about it.
This is going into an Excel file in the physical form
I
in
don't.
my living room.
I don't kiss and tell. I do nut and check though. I do bust and mark.
Jane thinks I was trying to just fill up my board like it was a competition, when in reality, it was just a really shitty joke and more about analytics than anything. I feel like a complete moronic asshole now, and I can't believe that I didn't see how exposing your friend's sex life was an okay thing to do. Not only does Jane think that I'm only having sex with her to compete with my friends, but she's also pissed that all of my friends know that I had sex with her. Honestly, I feel like I really fucked up bad here, so bad that I don't even know what to say. The entire chart was supposed to just be this big joke, but it ended up really hurting a girl that I liked. I've now since erased the board and tried telling her that it was just meant to be a joke, but she's ghosting me. And honestly, I don't blame her. Is there anything I can do to try to fix this
No.
and show her that she's more than a really bad joke?
This is the plot to like every teen or like
It's like a rom-com, like
young
a
adult
shitty
rom-com.
Yeah. Like Steven Seagal is in the movie.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal.
Jason Seagal?
Okay.
Yeah.
Jason
Segel?
Segel? And Steven Seagal is the dean?
I could even see
No.
like Paul Rudd being in it.
Yeah, maybe a young Paul Rudd opposite of like
The man is ageless, so
opposite like who's the girl from Stranger Things and Beetlejuice? Not Beetlejuice.
Winona Ryder?
Yeah, Winona Ryder, yeah. Like Paul Rudd, Winona Ryder flick, you know?
I would love that. I would buy a ticket. Can I say that? I would buy a ticket.
no, you wouldn't.
I would buy a pass to 123movies.org.
Hey, man. And with our sponsor, Blank VPN, Christian Fix It and Post, you can do that without getting caught. Is this goblin mode? Is this goblin energy?
I feel like
She was goblin.
You don't know that.
Oh, you don't know that.
Fuck, add it to the chart. Nut, sex, and then if you have goblin, if your balls were goblined.
I do think this stems from a goblin energy, and like that a collective goblin energy between the
Interesting.
suite.
I disagree. I think it's too analytical and cold.
Okay.
I
To me, it's
agree.
more elven energy. I'm like,
you know,
I was not fucking you for pleasure. It was for the stats.
Okay.
Like hands behind the back while they walk. Like, no, dearest Evangriel, I laid with thee to for the betterment of science. The statistics needed it.
I was about to say elves that's annoying, but like
Elves.
I
are.
play an elf.
Well, you play wood elf. They're famously less annoying
Oh,
than like
cool.
a high elf.
Cool.
I'm talking like loader elves.
I don't know what that means.
Lord of the Rings.
They have an update here.
Oh, wonderful. Can I say before the update, your best move is to live and learn and just leave her alone.
Yeah, just start a nut chart in your room. Don't have it be a sweet thing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Firstly, I would like to address my sweet mate being thrown under the bus. While they did speak to Jane of the chart, it wasn't out of malice or due to them wanting to get with her. And as far as I know, lots of substances were taken the night of the party. So my sweet mate thought it would be funny to brag about their lack of X's on the nut board.
I mean, if you have a nut board, you're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Nobody should be faulting the sweet mate for
No.
spilling the beans or the nuts.
it's not their responsibility.
Agreed.
If I had a nut chart in my house, I would be telling everybody about it.
Ugh. I bet Aurora would hate that.
Yeah.
I would hate that. That's why we don't have one.
So from there, Jane found out about the rest of the chart. She was the one who assumed that it was a competition because it wasn't really described to her in the light that reflected a funny, albeit poor decision. And honestly, without context or intent, I can very clearly see how that could be translated into her just being a trophy. But here's the aftermath of my apology. And I'll keep it brief because honestly, I feel like this post blew up to a degree that I'm not comfortable with. Sorry.
It's a risk you take. Post things on the internet.
It's ours now, buddy.
After class one day, I apologized to her, telling her that I had a really shitty idea that had some awful unforeseen consequences to it. I owned up to my immaturity and told her I would try to do better and that I did really like her.
I don't feel like he needed to tell her it was his idea.
Yeah, you just said...
Little white lie.
We collectively started a thing.
I don't even think it's a white... You just be, like, little obtuse about it. It's
A live omission.
yeah.
I do think it's funny how he's like, I had the consequences were poor. And it's like, well, like, they were only poor because she was upset. Like, the intended consequence of you marking that you got laid was achieved.
True. My intentions were never to harass or expose her. Jane told me that she wasn't looking for a relationship at this point anyways.
Oof.
But she did appreciate the apology.
Perfect.
She said she still wants to hang out and be friends, and I'm okay with that. And honestly, I'm just glad she doesn't hate me for this. Lastly, the board has been erased. All of my suite mates came to that decision that it was a stupid idea from the get-go, that we need to be better about being mature people.
Good.
I've spoken to my suite mate about confidentiality a bit, and now we're on good terms. All as good as it can be. I learned a very valuable lesson that day. For the love of God, don't start a nut chart, guys. It's funny until it isn't. Be a good person and be open about even the dumbest ideas. Consent and communication about even something as dumb as a nut chart will save you from a whole lot of grief.
You're a sophomore in high school. Stop.
College.
I meant to say college. You're a sophomore in high school with a fucking
You said it
psych
again.
minor. I said college.
You did
You
not.
said high school again.
Don't
It
gaslight me.
it felt like you were trying to be...
Obtuse.
Yeah.
You're a
you
sophomore
rubber
in high
goose.
school. Don't be. That one was intentional. You're a sophomore in college with a psych minor. Don't be all like fucking hoity-toity. Like, let me be the beacon of truth. Don't start a nut chart. Do not start a nut chart. Nobody else in the world was gonna start a nut chart. I don't think we're gonna get an email from a listener that says, I was gonna start a nut chart. Then you guys talked about it, and whoo-wee, good thing I didn't.
Listeners, if you've ever had a nut chart with your suite mates, please let us know about this.
Like you just don't need a nut chart. Like
I
if you're
mean, a little bit. Like,
We
I
had a
get-
nut chart.
interpersonally between your own relationship.
Correct. But
Yeah.
that's also because we were trying to have a child, so we were tracking.
Yeah, you got me.
And by we, I mean me. I was doing all of that.
Oh, I thought only you wanted a child.
she was doing all the nutting.
By we wanted a child, I mean me. She was doing all the nutting. Girls can only
I'm a generous lover.
give birth if they have an orgasm.
That's true.
Not true.
Yeah.
I think it is true.
It definitely helps. But it's not a
Conception?
requirement.
It helps conception?
Yeah. It also helps in labor.
Really?
If I make you come during labor, it'll go good for you.
Yes.
I do. Isn't that a thing? Like
What?
some moms come during labor just from the.
I mean,
The
that
different
makes
pressures.
sense.
And,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Hey, man. Put that on the nut chart.
Huh.
HOBGYN has a secret nut chart in their office to see how many MILFs they made come.
No, thank you.
Guys, we're at 59 minutes. What
Yeah,
are we
we're getting
feeling?
out of here, man. To be fair, really only 59?
Yeah.
The cameras are at 103. I would have thought it'd be bigger because I started the cameras a little bit early.
Well, you kept asking me, are you ready to go yet? And I was only on take number 27.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's true. How about we take all 27 of these double minutes out of here? Does that make sense?
Yeah. How about you get that
Sorry,
sign
I only
Erika
passed
can
high school
plug
math.
us?
Erica,
Yes, sir.
Where can they
how about
follow
you
us?
tell Christian where they can find us?
Christian, did you know that We're on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Patreon, and Instagram at Judgies Pod, JUDGIES Pod,
Whoa, we're everywhere at
We're-
Judgies Pod.
all over. And if that was too quick for you,
It wasn't.
you can Google it.
It's also all in the description. Guys, the description's a wonderful place. Did you know that?
I did not know that. Is it
Yeah.
actually really cool?
Yeah, we got links to
We have a
merch.
nut chart in there. If you scroll far enough down,
That's true. If you close your eyes and squint, it becomes a nut chart. We have merch in the description. We have a place where you can leave a 5-star review. You can join our Patreon, all that good stuff. It also has story links if there's story links. Sometimes they get deleted.
that's all you had to say. And all I have to say is the Judgies love you.
Bye. Have a good week.